Again, nice to meet you again.
Julie.
Alishahi from Stitcher. How are you guys doing? I'm glad you could make it to today's meeting.
It's our seat.
Of course.
Ben, je voulais te remercier d'être venu à Montréal. C'est très agréable de te recevoir ici.
Oh, I have a pleasure meeting you as well. Now, I really just want to say first and foremost, thank you for letting me, get a chance to meet with you guys.
Vous êtes correct si on le fait en français?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
On le fait en français, or what do you want to do?
Do you speak French?
Not yet. Learning, but not there yet.
Oh, we thought you understood.
No, I'm
French.
sorry about
Not
that.
here.
Not yet. I will definitely get learning though.
Okay, so qu'est-ce qu'on fait? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
We can certainly accommodate.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah. So, my French sucks. So.
I apologize about that, and I'll definitely start on those lessons so I can, keep this partnership ongoing and keep that language barrier minimal to none.
Yeah. Julian was just expecting someone coming up to Canada just
Of
to
course.
spice that as they're going to be speaking this language.
Well, I know. I was actually going to say, because I had an internship during my time in college in one of the company's brands, EM Plastics, back in Canada. So I met a friend there. She's fluent, so I can learn from her, and we can start the process together.
Oh, you're familiar with EM Plastics? I used to work for them.
I had an internship there during my time in college. So I'm not fluent yet, but I'll pair up with her and we'll get the process going. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, I did have that internship and I learned a lot, but I hope this language barrier won't be too difficult, but I'd really like to learn more about you guys if that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I know we met last week, we got everything set up for
We did.
the United States. So we're getting that up and rolling very shortly. We talked about Montreal, and so really the person that needs to make the decision is going to be Julian on that.
You're the lucky man today.
So we do have a decentralized model
Okay.
of our business. So I let each of our business units, each of the managers operate their business however they best see fit. I'm just here to support them and to help them out. So I'm a fan. I think it's going to help us out a lot in the U.S. But the project that we talked about for the modeling, Julian's going to be the one to be comfortable with that.
Okay, and I'd love to dive deep into that. Now, I did give you a business card last time we met, but I will give you one as well. I gave him the same warning, so it's only fair if I do. That number right there is the same one my mom calls me on,
Okay.
so good luck getting my voicemail. I really value my clients and I look long term, so hopefully after today we can really get that partnership going and helping with that 3D project that you have going on, okay? Now, last time we spoke, we said 20 minutes. Is that still okay with you?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, so the purpose and goal of today's meeting really is just to recap on what we spoke about and get a better understanding of your project and what you're trying to do.
Well, yeah, I'm just curious because I want to know, like we're all here today, Jason seems to be very excited about that virtual desktop
Yes.
that I've never heard before.
And I'll fill you in.
Okay, so yeah, please, because what can he do for my Montreal operation?
I can actually do a lot, and that's why I'm really excited because I can bring so much value to what you're personally trying to do. But I really want to understand your situation and what you're trying to achieve before I even show you how I can benefit that. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, or would
sure.
you rather me just go straight into what that virtual desktop is?
No, actually, I can just explain a bit what we're doing. So actually, we're right now bidding on a large opportunity for a medical device implant company
Okay.
to provide several state-of-the-art spinal cord implants.
Wow, okay.
And this could be huge because it could give potentially give an opportunity for a paraplegic to walk again. So it's it's
huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing for you guys. I can't wait to get this started.
And to whoever's supplying the plastic, we need to have very expansive computer 3D rendering
course.
capabilities to work along with those medical device companies to analyze be able to analyze their design and stress and flex points.
Now, I know with that rendering, it could take up to seconds, it could take up to days. So do you know how much time a project could on average take for those 3D renderings?
Typically, I think it would take it's just getting your meeting going. It's a couple of weeks.
Weeks,
probably,
okay. So we definitely want something that's efficient
Yeah.
and really quick. Okay.
Yeah, it's important. And talking about time, it's very important.
Mhm.
Actually, the timing is pretty good because we're bidding right now, so we need to find a solution like right away.
Well, I got one for you.
Just when I don't know if he understands the rendering as much, but for the drawing, it just depends on the file size
Okay.
for the part that they're working with.
Okay.
But in
So
terms of like getting this started, I know it's, the bid ends in a couple of weeks, and so
Okay.
we need to have this
Prompt.
running as soon as possible.
Okay. Now, you said file size, so obviously storage is going to be extremely important to you. Now, you said you need to get this done fast. So if you were to go with that other solution with those computers, how quickly would you be able to get all those up and running?
It depends,
Mhm.
how quickly can you give it to me?
We can get you up and running by the end of the day if you'd really like to.
Have you helped
So-
any other person in the past
I
on this? Or?
do. Actually, I have a few companies in Canada that we've personally worked with.
So these are in Canada? Yeah, I was
Yes.
just curious
Mhm.
how you treat business here in
Yes,
Canada.
of course. And actually, I did the liberty of going to some of the cases that we pulled that actually transferred to that virtual desktop in Canada, and they've noticed a 43% increase in their productivity by, transitioning to that virtual desktop. And this is specifically to, the Canada productivity,
Mhm.
as well as I know your team is extremely important and your clients. There was a 91% increase in that team morale from transitioning to that virtual desktop.
Mhm.
So it really will have an overall improvement in your company and what you're trying to do going forward. How do you feel about that?
Seems interesting, but still,
Mhm.
it's a very specific project that we're working in. So, and how do you think Jason thinks Citrix can do this? And I really want to make sure
Of course.
you're able to do it.
I really can. You guys are the leader and we are too. So, based off everything we've talked about, you really want to have something that's efficient. You also want to make sure security and your storage is, on point. So I do have a solution that will be great for you. Do you mind if I show you how it works?
I would like, actually, I want to see how
Of
it can
course.
help.
So I have a
I want
demonstration.
proof.
Of course, proof is in the pudding. I got it. Now, same demonstration I was showing Jason. So it basically works as a mobile app. So whatever device that your employees are most comfortable with. So why don't you go ahead and hit try demo for me?
And is all this come in French?
You can have it in French, any language that you please. We have the 8 most popular languages, and our support team also can speak in French.
Oh, okay, that's
Mhm.
good. So
And
we
they're-
can get that support in
Mhm.
French as well.
We can.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and click Excel, or if you want to have that 3D app, you also can have this included in there.
Okay, so we can just
Yeah.
try one. Okay.
It'll load,
Uh-huh.
and wouldn't you agree that's exactly what a computer at your work looks like?
Uh-huh.
Now, Julian, this is just to show you and to demonstrate that the learning curve associated with Citrix itself is minimal to none. So I know you said you need this up and running, you're coming up to a decision. If you were to follow through with this, I could literally have it up and running by the end of the day, end of the week, whatever you want and whatever you see fit.
So what's your typical
Mhm.
implementation delays, or in the past, what have you done? Like, do you have some clear example on this?
I
know you showed me
do,
that, but-
of course. So what we recommend is we actually have a 6-step process that we have once we implement. Let me show you. We have a 6-step process that we implement once we actually follow through with Citrix. Let me see if we can find it. And what we do here is a 6 steps to success. So once you follow through with that proposal, Citrix actually has a 6 steps to make sure you align with what you're trying to achieve and that your company has exactly what you're trying to look for. So this will make sure that everything you're trying to achieve with those apps and your companies will go smoothly. Now I
Mhm.
really want to touch base on just how it works so you have a better understanding. With Citrix, we have those 3D apps, so we have a hypervisor and everything that you're looking for. So Citrix has done it in the past, so we can really tailor to what you're looking for. How it works, it's basically a cloud. Now, are you familiar with Netflix?
A bit, yeah.
A bit? Okay,
Yeah.
well, right here. Just like you would to watch your movies, it would actually be streamed on that cloud right there. Now, you mentioned that you really want to have your employees working from any device. So
Yeah.
the current ones that they have, or so you don't have to buy those additional hardwares
Mm-hmm.
or those expensive computers. You can use your personal devices. And you can stream that online just how you would and get that 3D, instead of days, have it in that moment.
Faut que je convainque mes gens de faire ça. Je sais pas ce que ça va donner.
No?
Yeah.
Is there
This-
something that's looking concerning?
No.
So I understand
Mhm.
this is the reason we set this up in the
Of course.
States, to be able to have that mobile access, especially for the inventory side
Yeah.
of things. I know Julian's big concern that we're trying to figure out is the 3D model in capabilities, because that's, this project that we're working on is, it's not just worth millions,
Mhm.
but it's saving lives.
Of course, and we want to be that partner to make sure you're the top of the notch leader. We are too, and we would never want to put something in your hands if we didn't 100% feel confident in what we're trying to provide for you. So I could leave you with a few testimonials of some of our larger clients. We're present in 100% of the global Fortune 100, and we've also gotten a few awards, but we take up 44% of that market share, so we are that leader. Now, if these large clients such as Google, Dell, IBM, if they're trusting us with, our security, their apps, that should really reassure you with some confidence that you should too.
So does it control? Yeah, go on.
So are they working with your 3D modeling?
Yes, a few of these companies are.
They
Mhm.
are.
They are.
Who have you helped with 3D modeling?
Oracle has done 3D modeling, and a few of our hardware and steel industries have. And those steel is specifically to Canada, and I can give you that case study if you'd like to refer to
I
it.
would like to,
Of course.
if we can relate to any Canadian.
Of course.
This
Let me
is
get
it's
that.
interesting for me.
So right here is a steel. They worked on that security, and they also have those 3D apps.
So Danny, I know we talked about it a little bit in our meeting. Can you explain to Julian about how the 3D modeling will work for
Mhm.
his technology?
Of course. So just like the regular apps, that's how it would be installed on, on the Citrix receiver. So there's not really any difference in how it's implemented. So you would just have it on the app like you saw on the demonstration, and you'd be able to access it just how you would on a regular computer. Does that alleviate some of that concern on how it would work?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah,
Mhm.
that looks interesting. Another thing, and one of our main concern, and
Of
this is why I'm still trying to
Of
negotiate
course.
with my executive, is it's very, very it's very expensive. It's a bid that it's a risky opportunity. So yeah, obviously the cost's gonna be it's gonna be also a main thing.
So the cost really it's gonna be about $20,000
Mhm.
for the hardware as
Hardware.
well as the software to be able to run
Right.
the service.
Well, I did the liberty of doing an immediate savings for you just so you really understood how much you'd be saving. If you were to implement Citrix, that solution, and just go with those 3D apps, you'd have about a 7% increase your first year. And those are based on the amount of employees that we discussed in our previous meeting with those 400. So if you went that first year with that 3D apps and that Citrix receiver on that Zen desktop, you'd have 7% increase that first year. Now, one of the benefits with Citrix is that after the initial first year, I know you mentioned you're trying to expand. The second year, you're not paying that full licensing cost, and I'll break that into details in a second, but you're only paying 20% of that fee, so that's training, service updates, things like that. So you're gonna have about a 500% increase that second year towards your bottom line, because you're not having to pay that full licensing agreement cost.
500%. That seems a lot.
It does. Would you like me to break down the numbers with you?
Sometimes you know what they say, when it's too good to be true. So you saw all this?
So the 400 users is across the company. Here, kind of for your location, how many?
We're looking at about 4 users.
Okay, we
for
can break those
location
numbers
right now.
down.
We're gonna
So-
start,
So for that, we'll need to be able to handle the 3D rendering.
Of course,
And
we can
so,
break that down.
Like I know what we got set up with US was for the basic, just basically had the virtual desktop covered on there.
Right.
So what is it extra, like how much is it for?
That's actually with the Platinum Edition, not even the Standard, because I knew you really wanted those 3D apps. So I took that into the account, and the virtual apps is part of that Platinum Edition. So those numbers are actually with the Platinum Edition, because I really want to ensure that we give you what you're looking for with utmost value. So the Platinum Edition is what those numbers are. And you're going to have those virtual apps. Now, aside from that, you also want to ensure, you said you're changing lives. This is a huge project. You want to make sure you have enough storage and security as well. Am I right?
of course.
Of course. So with the Platinum Edition, you'll have that centralized database that you're looking for, so all your employees from any brand can access that information. But you also will have that security, advanced security, as well as those virtual apps. So you can have those 3D apps, and if you want to progress and add more, you can do that as well. And I can show you the levels of security and how it works as well, just to really reassure you that your information will be efficient as possible and be quick on how you're trying to get your point across to your clients.
Yeah, ça peut être intéressant. We can definitely go over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, you wanna show me quickly or?
Yeah, of course. On the security?
Yeah, sure.
Of course. So right here we have that 4 levels of security. Now, I don't know if you know, but laptops, there's a 1 in 10 laptop quote that gets stolen. So what that means is you want to make sure your information to your clients is staying secure. With Citrix, we have those 4 levels of security. So not only will you have those 3D apps, we will make sure everything that you are doing is staying secure so nobody gets a hold of that. So you have what I think is most relevant to you is that dual factor authentication. Are you familiar with that term?
No,
No?
actually no.
Alright, so basically what that means is that when your clients are actually using the 3D rendering, you can access that information through a third party to really reassure that that end user is the correct user that should be seeing that information.
Yeah, ça c'est bon. Ouais,
Mhm.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
Now, is there anything else that would be critical to this project going forward that you'd like me to touch base on? Because I really want to ensure that you feel confident with me in going through this process.
So, what do you think? On my side, I think we could potentially look for a trial or something like that.
You know, we really feel confident in what we do. If you feel more comfortable with that, I actually have a proposal for a 6-month plan. If you want to try that out, test it out and see, and we feel confident that you will love the results that you get, and then you'll want to extend that for a full year and continue on that basis, if that makes you feel more confident.
So I know you, like, the biggest thing you have to be able to view is that 3D.
Yeah.
What devices will this support for the 3D for him?
Any of them. Whatever you want, you can do. So right here, if your clients already have, I know we were earlier discussing a little bit of that old hardware that you currently have.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it on that old hardware on a mobile device. You still have the security in place to make sure that information is staying secure. You can manage their productivity when you're entering that actual information so that you can ensure work is getting done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on top of that, you know, if you were to install those regular hardwares, computers on average have to get recycled every 3 years. That's just the lifespan of an average computer.
Mm-hmm.
One of the benefits with Citrix is you expand that 7 years. So you're initially saving those 7 additional years, and you have 10 years on that lifespan of that thin client going forward.
Really?
And I know back in Canada, you're extremely, you know, all about energy and sustainability and, you know, putting that good green, you know, initiative. So you're saving 60% of energy just by eliminating those extra malicious hardwares such as lead and mercury. How would your employees and your shareholders feel about that, knowing that you're making such an impact not only by 3D rendering and helping people with their spines, but helping the global community as well?
It's definitely one of our values, sustainability. We're always trying to.
And so we are too.
And not just Canada, but the whole company is part of our objective for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Julian, I really think this would be a really good partnership going forward, and I want to be this person to stick by your side and get this process going. I mean, is there anything else stopping you from wanting to sign that proposal today?
It's still a big move.
Mm-hmm.
It's a risky opportunity we're
Mm-hmm.
working on. There's a lot to look at. So how do you feel hearing all this, looking at the big picture as well?
When you said the premium was $310, so for users.
372, yeah. So if you want,
372?
okay.
Okay.
So the first year, just for those first users, 1,000, less than 2,000.
Was 372 for 4 users, but it's per month, correct?
No, that's a year, and that's only the first year. The second year, you're only paying $248.
So it's much less than the
Much
20,000
less.
that would be for the computers.
We
but
can get that proposal started. I have one for a 6-month trial. Why don't we try that? And
But we'll talk about it and we can get back to you on this.
you know, I really would like that to be that person going forward. So why don't we sign that proposal today and just try out 6 months and see how that works?
Yeah, it's true. I talked about the trials.
Mhm.
This could be potentially.
So we could sign off on that
comfortable with
today?
that. I need my boss approval.
It's your call, it's your location.
Yeah?
Time, yeah,
Okay.
good, thank you.
You're welcome.
You know,